We all felt like that Ernie was just the perfect person. Not only did he love Texas, he loved this part of Texas. And that was what was really important to all of us. And obviously, we were proven correct.
He cares. It's as simple as I can say it. He cares. He cares about people, and he cares about what's happening here in Fredericksburg. He and Karen care.
He's very tenacious. He takes care of things. If there was an issue, somebody was upset about something, he wouldn't react or overreact. He would wait, very calm, where other people were running around him saying, well, we need to do this, we need to do that. Ernie's like, let's just wait, it'll take care of itself.
I guarantee you he drives his wife crazy because he probably never turns his brain off, and he's just constantly thinking about others and what he could do to help them succeed.
He can walk into a room and not know 5 people in there. He speaks to those 5, and then he manages to meet the other 95% of the people he didn't know.
I can always hear Ernie coming a mile away from his laugh.
He's a great leader. He's very organized. He is detail-oriented. He's a good communicator. And he always looks on the bright side.
He's been on the forefront of the tourism industry, not only in Fredericksburg, but in the state of Texas as well. And he continued with that same drive right to the very end. And that's something I always admired about him. I thought 10 or 15 years ago, he was, at some point he was going to start to slow down, back off, and he just kept on.
He loves life. I can count on maybe 2 hands, probably not, the people, regardless what happens to them, what is going on, they accept it, and he loves life. And you take all those various things I've already mentioned and you combine that with his love of life. Special person.
He's inquisitive, he wants to know, he's a fact finder, and extremely enthusiastic.
He is high energy, knows what he's doing, very confident, and you get an instant ease because you're in good hands.
This guy comes running up to us and he says, "Hi, I'm Ernie Loeffler. I'm the CVB director in San Antonio." And we talked and talked and talked and talked. I mean, we knew everything about Ernie by the time he left. And that was our first encounter with him. And he was, Ernie's a chatterer, so we had a real good conversation with him and loved him immediately.
I think my favorite thing about Ernie is his humility. He is in a position that some people could take that as powerful or influential, and he is just a servant at heart.
How can you not like Ernie? He's just a great guy.
Ernie and I talked early on about how to expand tourism throughout the week, because even then, 20-something years ago, it was all about weekends and people were getting all they could get on the weekend, but we're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. But I remember us trying to find a way to make that happen. But what I appreciated about Ernie was he felt like if we could do that, that would be our success too as a theater.
Ernie always had the ability to see what the next big thing was going to be. And he always led his team to be prepared and to help Fredericksburg be one of the first to accomplish that next big thing.
I think he's very open to other people's opinions, because he's very smart. He's a valedictorian. I married a valedictorian, but he doesn't think he knows it all. So he's always open to everybody else's idea, and he's very respectful. But I find he's usually right. But don't tell him that.
I measure everybody else's work ethic in town by Ernie, and I have yet to find anybody that works harder or longer than Ernie does.
He's very good at wanting to make sure there's different ways to get people to come to the area to spend their time in here and also come back.
So knowing Ernie and knowing who he is and having an idea of what he does, it's much different than sitting on the board. And it was there that I realized how much time, thought, commitment, effort goes into everything that we see as citizens of the community.
As driven as he is to bring tourists here, he also recognizes the importance of it being quality tourism and this still being a place we all want to live in 20 years from now.
I mean, literally, he never lost focus of everybody and every little business and, you know, every segment that makes Fredericksburg, Fredericksburg.
I think he's tried to hang on to the quaintness and the charm, but yet you have to keep up with technology, and young folk are the ones that are coming in with the money, so you have to know how to deal with them. So I think he's made a good balance of it, but I know he doesn't like technology. But he hires people who do that, so that's good.
I remember when Ernie was really excited when they hit 1,000 followers on Facebook. And we were all excited. And now it's at like, I don't know, 125,000. But it was just like those little milestones were so great to experience with him, and he was all excited. And what makes it even funnier today is that he still is not on Facebook himself.
I'm going to a lot of events. Whenever I was there, Ernie was there and Karen was there, and they were involved. And it wasn't so much they were there to be seen, they were there to take note what was happening, listening to people.
Ernie is a little bit like Santa at Christmas. He's everywhere.
He wants to take it always to the next level, and challenges are fine. He is going to work his way through it and make it work and make it a success. His follow through for every campaign that he does is remarkable.
I think there's going to be people that didn't realize how much work he's done behind the scenes to make things happen in our community.
When I first started coming here, it was antiques, and then it was something else, and then now it's something else. And he's been able to work through all of that transition.
I think a lot of people, through Ernie's outreach across the globe, have discovered Fredericksburg, and we've been lucky enough to have a lot of these great people move here from all different locations and really build up the culture of our community. Volunteerism is huge, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to Ernie's outreach and really growing tourism in the right way.
He was a guy that I really felt like he loved his job. And if he didn't give 100%, he gave 100+% to his job.
I said, please stop promoting Enchanted Rock. And he goes, why? I said, we're inundated with people. I said, I don't need any more people. He said, Doug, in my 25 years, this is the first time someone's ever asked me to do that, to stop promoting them.
People always say it's all about the tourists and this and that, but it wasn't with Ernie. It was all about what's best for the community. And so that made the biggest impact for, you know, small business owners and people in the art business. I mean, and every other facet of the community. I just felt like he cared about every little thing that made Fredericksburg special and important.
You know, Ernie's just been such a valuable part of not only tourism growing, but I think the community growing to embrace tourism.
I don't know of any other single individual in Fredericksburg history who has had the kind of economic impact on Fredericksburg that Ernie has.
I'm not sure there would have been anybody that could have done a better job than him.
He has set the CVB up to be successful next year, the following year, and forward. That will be his real legacy.
It'll be hard to top what the growth that he has provided for us in all of our tourism aspects.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to follow him.
No.
If you just had somebody that took it as just a job, it wouldn't be what it is today at all. So I think he's done an exceptional job, and I would really want to thank him for that.
Ernie's basically a quarter of a century at the Fredericksburg CVB is, in my opinion, probably the most pivotal and the most meaningful quarter of a century in the history of Fredericksburg tourism.
He always wanted to make his success our success, and that made a big difference.
It's hard for me to picture him as a retired person because he's always busy. I think he says that he'll have things to keep him occupied in his retirement. I question that.
I have a list for him, so he's got plenty to do around the house.
That will not be enough. You're going to have to find a job for him.
I don't know. Maybe he'll come work for me. That would be amazing.
You know, just all of a sudden we get the, you know, the beard going, and, you know, we've asked him, of course, you know, Santa or, you know, this or that. It's kind of like when you grow your hair long, you know, that should have been the first indication that he was probably on the glide slope out.
Ernie always pushed his glasses up, and so now he's got a new push the glasses and pull the beard.
If he puts a cowboy hat on, he looks just like Hondo Crouch. And I think that's kind of cute.
All of us, when we quote retire, we get a lot busier.
Ernie better keep his hand down. Karen better keep a short leash on him, or he is going to be back right into it, without a doubt.
He needs to be the guest instead of driving the bus.
I know we're going to see his hands in a lot of things around town, even though he's retiring, but I just wanted to tell him to take some time for himself, because he certainly deserves to see Fredericksburg from the other side.
You know, I don't want to say happy retirement because I can't see Ernie sitting around. Ernie is a doer. And so I'm really looking forward to see what is next for him.
I think he needs to turn off his phone, shut down his email, like go into hibernation, because everyone's going to be after him.
I mean, you can only sweep the garage so many times a day, so you've got to stay busy.
It's hard to find a community that you can tell they love each other. And I think that's because we all feel like that we're buying into the same dream, and that is family and church and community. And I think Ernie's just been a valuable part of that.